What an explosive map there between AVANT and Renegades. It could have gone either way in the end, all the way to 30. And Kev, usually the man you'd expect to get the predictions wrong, just smashing it out of the park with a 16-14 prediction. And Renegades able to start this reverse sweep happening because we are now going to a third. But before we get there, we are going to be breaking it down. What just happened in that map? It was a long one, not quite as long as Dust 2, but even still, even so, Renegades starting to fire up now.
Yeah, absolutely. Individuals are starting to perform, and you can see that they're confident taking those individual duels, trusting each other to at least win those crossfires and whatnot. Similarly, you can say that for AVANT as well. A lot of the time when they were coming onto the bomb site, so they were able to get these entries very cleanly, just on the sheer virtue of setting up good crossfires, a really patient play. I think maybe 1 or 2 rounds went awry for either side. It could have maybe been an AVANT victory if they snuck one of the retakes through. I think it was like they managed to have like a 4 and 3 or whatnot, but they didn't really set themselves up correctly. Couldn't really hold off on the CTs, and Renegades managed to retake that B bomb site on one of the pistol rounds. So
yeah, it was a very, very solid performance by both sides in the end. And look, I was almost convinced at one point there that AVANT was going to take it 2-0. You know, where there was that long technical, I was like, oh, AVANT, they're looking good. They've caused a couple of upsets. But I believe that pause also sort of turned it back around because AVANT, they had the momentum. Everything started to work for them. But then after the pause, it started to fall apart a little bit.
Well, I don't know.
It was a close game. I mean, AVANT gave it a good crack, but it felt like Renegades was kind of ahead the whole time, apart from that round where AVANT came through with pistols and won the following gun round as well. That's where you really felt like it was a bit of a clencher for Renegades. I felt like they might actually drop this map after losing a few of those rounds, but they were able to quickly recover from that and still maintain that they were sort of ahead 1 or 2 rounds for a lot of that game, and they were managed to close it out.
I mean, I was going to say, right, like you love memeing me saying critical rounds, that 20th round with a pistol. Unfortunately, they were unable to build on that, and that's the issue, right? Is that once you win such a big round, you're able to reset the CT economy. That's why I call them critical rounds, because you could imagine that if they managed to take a few more after that, managed to push Renegades on the back foot, it would have been a different story, but they just couldn't chain the rounds together. And I think that's also down to Renegades also making the correct reads at the right time. So, and making those retakes work. That's just down to a lot of good discipline, great utility usage, as well as understanding the tendencies or maybe where these AVANT players love playing on the post plant.
Yeah, I feel like if earlier on in that second half, AVANT managed to use those walls of smoke and outers rather than just throwing them as a bait, they might have found some more success, you know, going for that warehouse control than wrapping around the back rather than, I think there was only one round they tried to go for the explosive play off the top of Annex with the air strafe around the back, and it didn't work out. They got shut down. I think it was Sicko with the 2K to completely shut that one down, and it was hard to watch because you know that AVANT is capable of an upset after seeing what they've done today so far.
I think it's just scissors, paper, rock when it comes to these rounds, and we saw that on Dust 2 a lot. A lot of the times it's just gamble stacks coming out from either team, and now in Nuke it's like the situation where if Sicko's any other place, that's where he gets caught off guard, but he's in the perfect situation to answer that. He's sitting in CT spawn. Completely useless if AVANT decide to go secret, actually the perfect position if they decide to split. So sometimes that just happens. It's Counter-Strike, you win scissors, paper, rock, excellent.
Yeah, I think it's just down to the meta of how people play the T side, really. It's not even that those wall of smokes are really used to take map control that often anymore. A lot of the time, it's just trying to pull that extra rotator down the vent or pull that extra rotator off that upper bomb site and try and pounce on that timing, or pull that ramp player away or the player that's assisting that ramp player away so you can go and take that control. You know, I think that's really what it's down to on that T side. It's sort of come full circle as to trying to bait out certain responses.
Well, the fire has already been lit, and let's see who's going to burn the place down because we've got Inferno as the third and final map of the series. Who's going to take it? Find out after this break.
It's hard to say I'll make it through, but I keep going anyway. Where did you go now? I need to get to you somehow. What can I do now? I've got to find a way. 2, 3, 4. Such a mess now, I ruin everything, I screw everything up. My defense, all my friends keep telling me you can't change and you'll never give up. She's got me tied around her finger, just like a ring, yeah. And I just can't get enough. Now I'm trying to relieve the pain and fever of the guy that's stuck in love. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause I just can't.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Third and final map is about to get underway. It's going to be Inferno to close out the series, and I'm so excited to get into the action. And we have just had word the knife round has completed. AVANT won it and have chosen the CT side to start on. So Renegades are going to be on that T side. They're going to be able to control that momentum.
Yeah, I think it's more important the fact that AVANT's starting out on the CT side and they're going to be a little bit more comfortable rather than having to get the ball rolling themselves. I think Renegades is going to be a little bit more capable of being able to do that on that T side and just not really feel too much pressure in this upper bracket game, whereas AVANT, if they can just be comfortable on CT side, not have to go out there and get bullied out of the server a little bit by some CT utility or something like that, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable, but I don't know if it's necessarily would affect them. They're being pretty resilient. Every time Renegades gets away with a few strings of rounds or puts the pressure on AVANT, they've been able to respond very consistently over the last 2 maps.
Yeah, 100%. And this is like one of those sites where Inferno is very similar to Train in the essence that if you're able to get just 1 or 2 clean entries, or even if you're able to trade out effectively, you've got access to the bomb site, you can play around with the CT rotations. We saw that work to perfection yesterday when they were versing Order on Train. They just bullied the small bomb site time and time again. If they can read into the tendency of what Renegades is doing over here on that B-bomb side of Inferno, this could be really good for them. It's all going to come down to Banana at the end of the day and this top brackets control. Both sides going to be fighting for it.
Well, it's Inferno, and we're about to get into the action. Pilly, you're going to be leaving us. Give us a prediction. Can you do what Kev did, but one better? Who's going to win the series?
You got to go with Renegades. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to go like 19-17 in overtime. I reckon it's going to be a banger. I'm going to go eat some chicken wings and enjoy the cast, lads.
Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your beautiful protein. Well, here we are, pistol round. Renegades looking to target that A site. Trying to make their way to apartments. Only man spotting so far is going to be APOC.
Yep, it's fallen out. They're just going to be playing Crossfire here, just setting themselves up in pretty solid position. Sterling's the only one that's got the kit. He's dropped that. Is that a PDK to 50-50? Doesn't matter because APOC at close range, able to duel out quite well, at least go 1 for 1, and Sterling's just being an absolute nuisance right now. Really hard to flush him out of the graveyard area, but Ofnu goes down, which means the T's an opportunity to potentially rotate back to the B-bomb side.
Already such a close round. But Renegades indecisive with the rotation back, so Hazza will have plenty of time to go and make sure no one's gone forward over on B yet. It is going to be a slow rotation down through the tunnel. Dexter, he's quite low and he is happy just to hang around, and it looks like he's going to use that smoke to try to fake this one out and hold both of these players here off the rotation.
Yeah, but time's dwindling away, so you can see that AVANT are a little bit aware of the fact that maybe, just maybe, Renegades are going to be pushing and probing over to the B-bomb site. The flashbang comes forward. Oh, disgusting one tap.
Oh, but
bomb
look.
hasn't been spotted. Exactly, the CTs have left jungle, but that's okay. They will geared up actually for an A-site retake.
Dexter gets control of the site, and Sicko, a thief in the night, sliding his way through Diggity straight towards the back of site. Bomb going to be planted for Dexter's position as well. So Renegades couldn't ask for more here, but AVANT have the man advantage.
Yeah, and they also have the kit as well, which means they've got plenty of time to complete this retake. But P250s are always deadly from this long distance, even if they don't have body armor. Dexter, first point of contact, really strong position, and you can see why. Able to just slide in and slide out, trying to maintain the CT control on him at the moment. As Sicko will finally chime in, but none of these shots are really landing right now for either side. It's actually going to be Dexter, probably the point of difference. Sicko's able to clean up at the end of the day. 3 for Dexter, pistol round goes to Renegades.
Huge performance already. And Renegades, they started strong on Nuke, and they're about to do the same thing on Inferno. AVANT, however, they are going to go for the force by APOC with a couple of picks there. Has managed to go for the MP9, so no utility for him as he makes his way over towards mid to have a little old peek. Renegades looks like they are interested in Banana this time.
This could be some good nades coming out from Hazard if he times it correctly, just to do some chip damage to assist with AVANT on this buy round. But, I mean, losing a player pushing very deep into T apartments isn't going to help out. At the very least, some early damage has been incurred. Just like that, actually a pick from Blitz as well. Gets out very unscathed as well over there at Banana, which is great. Forces extra utility to come out from Renegades just for this top car control.
Aggression not punished. And an ambitious line going to be held here by Blitz. But it looks like he will not find a thing. Now the 1-for-1 trade usually will be favouring the T side now, as all four men will be grouping up looking for this bracket control initially before they set their sights on the A-bomb site. And unfortunately for AVANT, Renegades has gone silent. So Sterling has tried to hedge the bets towards the B side of the map, and it's going to be just Offnu to try and hold.
Yeah, look, it's not a bad decision at the end of the day just to try to gamble. Obviously, it doesn't work out in this context, but with 35 seconds, you don't really want to be exposing yourself to one-on-ones. Offner is going to hear this utility being dumped at jungle, so he knows that now it's probably going to be this A-site split. And you can see he's pretty cautious, just staying alive. Renegades will know that Big Pit as well as Apartment's going to be the deadly parts here. So you can see In's just going to be clearing it out. They know that there's probably one Apartments at this stage.
Ooh, and that may be cleared in a moment. Malta spots him in the corner. Offnu not going to be able to sneak his way out of the A site there. And Renegades looks like they've secured themselves a second. With that kill, AVANT have hightailed it back towards the B site, down towards Banana to try and find an upgrade. Mach 10 carried across will allow AVANT to have four upgraded weapons rather, into the third round of the match and still have a fighting chance.
Yeah, a couple of deagles to see if they can do some further damage. Unfortunately, only able to take one weapon off Renegades means that the T side can start building a bit of money on the back of this. Only losing a Mach 10 or I think it was an SMG at the end of the day isn't going to be costing too much. So they can drop that SMG back over. Sicko can decide to buy up another one if he chooses to do so. AVANT, this could be an opportunity for them to do some damage as well.
Yeah, relatively clean round coming out from Renegades there. Let's see if they can turn it into 3.
Okay, this is interesting. Offnu's got a flashbang, and the rest of the boys are going over to the A-bomb site. So, once again, a bit of a different look. Maybe a flash in the mid and a peek later on in the mid-round. No, it's just an early round flash and peek. Nothing found.
Renegades not storming straight up the middle of the map just yet, as Dexter fully at the ready finds the first 2 picks for the round. Doing it almost single-handedly. Offnu's hungry for some more. Sicko a casualty as Offnu gets around the corner just in the nick of time. Nade as well. Get some free damage onto APOC. Hazard gets binked through the corner. So he will survive for now. But in the 4v2, Dexter is just swinging up a storm at the moment, tapping heads left, right, and center.
Yeah, he's really starting to hit some form at the moment, which is always the scary part. Inz is going to finish the job. The double Galil's getting the entries across. So Offnu's got a bit of a decision to make right now, and I would say that probably better off just saving or just staying cheekily hidden somewhere. No point gifting free money over to Renegades. It doesn't sound like a lot, $300, but I think he's just given $300 over. So there you have it. I don't know. I've always been a big fan of, if you have really no chance in the round, you might as well just hide, be annoying, make it hard for Renegades really to hunt you down, and you actually deny a little bit of money going over to the T's. $300 doesn't sound like a lot, but it could mean later down the line, missing smoke grenade.
True. Or even just a flash that has the complete impact and round to turn it at the perfect moment.
Right.
Well, let's see if that happens now. It's 3 men towards Banana early. Renegades trying to go toe-to-toe, and now it's Dexter getting both. He wants some more, but Hats is the one to trade it out. And that's going to be the B-site found. Rotation coming through from Offnu, but it's too little too late. Cross has already come out here.
This should just be instantly a save coming out. Offnu should not even be in this territory right now trying to save this. I mean, you can already see that Malta's on the hunt because he knows that potentially there is an AWPer on the other side. He does go down, so a big indication for Renegades that it looks like that AVANT's going to be going on the save, but they're going to be very happy with that. Just instantly on the first gun round, AVANT, they try to fight Nana. Dexter's too good.
Dexter
Utility's
is
too good as well.
an amazing player.
Like every single now and then, it's you try to play this game or whatnot, and you get reminded there's a guy that's better than you, better looking than you, and bench presses more than you. That's pretty much Dexter in a nutshell.
Are you trying to trigger me?
Dexter's journey, that's all I'm saying. Make sure you follow it on Twitter.
I could bench him. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, into the 5th we go, and Renegades again, a clean beginning to the map. 4-0 on the T side. And Avant, look, they've chosen the CT side. They've had a relatively rough start at the moment. Still an AWP and M4 to play with after the save there, but I don't know if we're going to see a buy coming through. But there's those entries, the lineup. Avant caught napping, not expecting the advancement up Banana so early in the round from the Renegades.
Yeah, and just great once again. Just even that second trade out, you can see Hats is just wary of any potential, and he's able and willing to answer. Look, Orb has been preserved over, so Sterling, he's going to be using that over the Diggity side. That's a great nade onto Sicko nice and early on, but it is going to be a battle of the Orbs, Pixel versus Pixel. I don't know. I think the elbow has been spotted out by Sicko. He knows where the AWPer is.
I don't know if he spotted it, though. If he went that extra little footstep, he might have had a chance, but he decides against it appropriately, regrouping with his teammates and looking to go for a strength in numbers approach towards the B site. Smoke to CT. Plenty of utility to go for the double execute. Final smoke from the B site here has been baited out as well.
Yeah, that said, though, Optimum has been able to rotate over to the B bomb site thanks to Sterling just playing very aggressively over here at top mid. Out comes the B side execute, but this is the perfect situation for Avant.
It's close range with 5-7, wants to go back through, gets in behind enemy lines, but he's fully blinded as well. Opnu for 2, but Dexter does it better, and he wants more as well. That Molotov is going to flash, has it into the open. 3 for Dexter now, on for the ace if he finds the 2 final men. But again, it's APOC and Sterling on a big rotation. But this round, it's even standings, and now there's an opportunity.
Yeah, no utility for Renegades to play with. This is all down to the gunplay at the end of the day. APOC, no armor, but an MP9. Really good fire rate on this weapon, but he needs to land a double dink at Dexter at this range. And Dexter, all he needs to do is just get that tag, and the MP9 aim is just completely shot.
Let's see if Dexter can hit it
my
again.
goodness.
He gets it done, and Sterling's position is known now. On for the ace. He does it well. Orp not going to be saved over for Avant as Renegades make it 5 at the same time as Dexter.
I'll put it this way, right? It's just Renegades with 5 rounds, but Dexter, how many rounds has this man just multi-killed at this stage? That's a bit of a worry for Renegades, is that if Dexter's unable to find this entries, where's the rest of the players firing up? Look, they're not needed at this stage. It's always that question. What happens when Avant do fire up and start testing this T-side attack? You can't rely on Dexter just killing everyone every single round.
That being said, some of the best Renegades plays comes when you do have Dexter firing everything, hitting his shots. And again, it looks like that could be the case today. Avant have already lost Sterling, and that is a rough way to start the second attempt at a gun round. APOC just waiting for the timing. Wall bangs are plenty, but there it is. An equalizer.
Great equalizer as well. They needed some control. They lost Nana nice and early on, and now they're forced to actually use a lot of this early utility just to try to buy some more time. Try to read exactly where Renegades is going to be pushing. Once again, Dexter's going to be left trying to take this top brackets control by himself. The rest of the Renegades players going to be probing out Blitz, who is set up more for a retake as opposed to a site hold. Doesn't have the utility really to push off the Ts if they do decide to commit over here into the B-bomb site.
You could see that he used that flash as well just to try to bait out any information. And then some blind fire shots came from Renegades, expecting maybe a re-aggression and an attempt at a retake at the top of Banana. But, placement of that nade is perfect onto Dexter. Damage for free. But APOC in this position, looking solid, able to set up the crossfire with Offnu.
Yep, the problem here is that if the players come up through Diggity, which they are, it's going to be absolutely perfect. Oh my goodness, Dexter's just not missing anything at this stage. So even as Offnu's on site, Dexter's just checking everything perfectly. He's playing absolutely phenomenally so far. Site's been taken. Shaw has us close in the smoke. But
from this point, Avant again. They have to make the decision. Do we go for a round? Do we try to get on the board finally? Or are we just going to save? And it looks like the save's the call. The time is ticking. And Dexter is still alive. At this point, you know that he's hitting every single thing that moves. Ince as well is there. He's had a scorcher today. And you don't want to be running at them when they're on the defense.
Yeah, it just seems like Renegades have a read of the situation at this moment. And with just 2 players getting the entries, that's all they really need. Don't know what to say much beyond that. APOC does his best to try to at least bring an advantage back for Avant. They try to set up a crossfire, but the flashbang solid enough for the T's. Entry is even better.
The question at this point is, when will Avant get an opening? When will they get a chance to start their way into the game? Because they need something. Renegades is giving them nothing at this point.
I feel like Avant just need to pretend they're taking Nana control, but just fall back and actually play from the B-bomb side. Haven't had the chance really to test out Renegades or force Renegades into a bit more of an execute situation. Renegades have always gotten a number ahead nice and early on, whether it's down to a Nana fight or whether it's down to a pick over at the A-bomb site. They just need to hold on to the site right now with a crossfire. They have forced into this. Orp's been dropped over in the hands of Sterling, but they have given up top car control this time around. That's completely fine.
Oh, nice utility usage to allow an opening. We were talking about what it would take, but they finally found it.
Yep. No point fighting when you don't have that much utility and you probably have to give it up later. Just play the site. You have very, very good site players. You can set up nice crossfires as well. Force Renegades to be guessing where you're going. That's a great start. 5v4.
There's still so much utility for Renegades to take this bracket control, which is where they're putting their focus at the moment. Flash misses the mark. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Renegades going to be looking at that one later in the demo and kicking themselves. It's at least able to trade it, but still Avant had this man advantage.
Yep. And Dexter in the position really to strike if anyone does manage to peek out through Diggity Way. He's managed to make his way just behind the haystack. Pretty safe from pit. Renegades have just slowed this down, trying to play a little bit of time. 35 seconds left. Inz is going to retrieve the bomb. Incendiary grenade dropped in apartment, so Avant, I think, are suspecting that it is going to be an A-site attack. Now the smoke on site is going to be isolating APOC.
And they've seen this trick before. APOC has the one-way and will topple Dexter. Now it's Malta and Inz to try to get back in the round. They've got 10 seconds to get to site and plant this bomb. But the objective is the last thing on their mind, unfortunately for Inz. Offnu's up in the corner, and the crossfire works wonders. Offnu gets it done for 2, and Avant finally cracked the edge. Start cooking that omelette. And are looking to have some brekkie, because now, Kev, they are on the board.
Absolutely, but dangerous situation coming up ahead. Renegades have called attack pause nice and early, and that's exactly what I mean. You look at the performance at the moment, it's really just one individual that's popping off. In's a little bit assisting, but you look at the rest of the players, man, barely any ADR there. That is the recipe for Avant to get back into this. Just hold firm. Dexter cannot kill all of us, surely.
Maybe. I don't know about you, but it looks like Dexter can kill as many people as he wants right now.
But that was exactly what they needed to do, right? Just play a little bit more patiently. You don't need to be forcing every single fight necessarily when you don't have the utility, when you're not really winning these gunfights. Play the positioning. Play the advantages that you have on the CT side, and it worked an absolute charm. The site to pit crossfire is probably one of the strongest in all maps in Counter-Strike. And you see exactly why. So hard to break it. Molotov comes out a little bit too late. Perfect defense. Upgrade as well for a lot of the members on Avant who are suffering money-wise. No AWP in play, though. Just relying on the rifles, which isn't a bad thing.
Nice setup on the B site there. Blitz was just jiggling on the corner as Hazza ready to drop a smoke. As Renegades now are utilising the utility, taking full control of the car area. Slower approach, though. It's just the map control that Renegades is after. Very thorough in their approach. Now in comes that retake utility. Let's see how long they can keep Renegades hanging around for here at Banana.
Sicko's been boosted up, though, so even if the flashbang comes forward, they can't really dry walk out into it. Top brackets control now being taken by Renegades nice and early on. But good patience from Avant, just holding on to this utility for now. Making sure they've got things to still play with. 35 seconds left. Bomb's actually been left in T-spawn. So this is really dicey right now for Renegades. Even if they go on the split, someone needs to go back and get it. This has to be a really poor commitment. Because there's still utility for AVANT to play with over this A bomb side. It is going to be A. And this is the part where I start getting a little bit scared for Renegades right now.
Let's see if it's AVANT doing the scaring. Offnu catching them with their pants down. Malta makes it into a trade as we go back from 3-on-3 now. APOC not able to get to safety in the pit. And the bomb will be planted safely there on site. Now, AVANT, they need to decide whether they want to go for this one. If you look at the money there, they're not going to be able to completely buy into the next unless someone survives. And there it is, the call's been made. But, oh, look at the timing. Ince now on the hunt, spotted. Blitz will double back for the moment, making sure he will be nice and safe on his rotation. But Ince as well, after being spotted, you can see that he is now all the way up banana already. But AVANT in solid positions to hold their ground and keep these guns alive before sending it to the 9th round.
Once again, a really perilous situation for Renegades, bailed out by the fact that they're able just to get these really nice entries working in AVANT. Just unable to set up the crossfire. You really need that third gun in there, but I think Sterling was a little bit too far away, out in the open. Might be blinded off as well, so there's not much you can really do there. You can see Malta just charging out onto the site, able to get the entry and just keep charging forward. So AVANT's time for a tactical timeout. With the 2 rifles being saved over, absolutely critical for them to try to get something into this. They've got firepower. They've actually got a lot of utility to work with as well, which is really good.
I believe we saw that fun fact yesterday, by the way, except it was 5 before they got their victory over Chiefs. Solid performance either way, and a 6-round lead on the T side. Again, it's looking like Renegades might have just been getting it done in the first half and making that second half so much easier.
But similarly, we've seen a lot of halves where the T side goes off to a racing hot start, then the CTs come back and at least claw a serviceable, workable round. But you look at Inns, he's got the spawn for it, instantly picking off Offnu. That's a great nade at the very least. Done a lot of damage over to the CTs. Blitz needs to get out of there.
Oh, but
oh my
Molly's
goodness.
gonna keep him stuck in. Somehow he survives in this position for just long enough. Surely. The man wasn't even quivering. He wasn't moving a muscle. Full faith that he was going to get out of there alive. And he does so successfully. But even still, Renegades, they come out of this engagement with that man advantage.
But you look at the HP of some of these members, it does put them into the territory of getting banged out by the M4 with a single headshot and with a couple of stray bullets. Sterling also on the perfect angle. Oh. Great shot, great timing hit onto Hats, even though the flashbang comes forward. But he's got a lot of responsibility right now. A lot of T's looking to pressure over to the A bomb site. He's isolated by himself. And once again, it feels like I'm watching Dust 2 again.
And with 40 seconds, look at this. The utility's been used, and AVANT have rotated every single person off the B site, but Renegade staying silent just allows enough time for Hazard to make his way back now. Smoke not necessarily in the greatest position. You can see Ince has found himself a little gap. He's just waiting.
Oh, that incendiary grenade's big. But it might have gone too far. That's the problem. It's been extinguished as well. His head's been spotted out. Unfortunate for Hazard. He had all the right utility to work with. But still another situation where I say that AVANT just needs to save once again. They don't have retake utility, only 2 flashbangs. They don't have smokes. They don't have incendiary grenades. They just have to back off, and it's hard, but it's the correct call.
Even though Hazard was there at the perfect moment, he was all on his lonesome. And Renegades, they've done it again. 8 now secured. As AVANT try to hedge their bets and look for the best possible outcome in the next round. Fully aware that that AWP in the hands of Sterling is a key to AVANT's success. They need to keep it alive, but so far, it's not seen a whole lot of action here for AVANT.
No, I mean, as soon as Renegades see it, they just avoid it pretty much. They're just playing with the rotations right now. AVANT, they're trying to guess where Renegades is going, trying to increase their percentage chance of winning these rounds, but unfortunately, when you gamble incorrectly, it costs you. And it is pretty hard at that stage. Renegades, they could have had top 9 control. They executed all their smokes into the A bomb site, and then shift walked straight back into the B bomb site instead. Still another triple take from Banana. This time Renegades happy to concede top car for now.
And Dexter sneaks his way into apartments now. So he does make some sound jumping, clearing. Boiler room there. Oh, Avant finally going on the aggressive. Hats tries to sneak his way to Olaf, but Blitz shuts him down. Ints on the trade, but the Molotov turns it into a 2-for-1. And there it is. Avant now have a man advantage, but APOC needs to make this off angle work. Now, Crabwalk coming from Dexter, shut down. And it's all up to Sicko in a 1v4. Avant might have finally cracked the code again. But with 8 rounds on the board already for the Renegades, is it too little too late?
Oh, you have to start from somewhere, right? At the very least, they've got some loss bonus built up. They haven't really allowed the economy to be in great form just yet for Renegades. Keeping 4 alive is going to be absolutely solid. I hope they don't take the double up setup. They have, which is all right. But there are a lot of reasons why I don't like the double up setup on the CT side. At least they're not investing that much money into it. That's a retrieve one. All right, you might as well take it. It's a freebie.
Let's see how it goes. Blitz certainly had a couple of beautiful clips in this series with Yorp so far. Let's see if that is an answer to Renegade's offense, you know? Because the rifle's gone all right. The Deagle has dusted some damage, but still, Avant needs some more. If they can turn this into an 8-7 affair, there's a chance. There's a chance that in the second half that they'll be able to bring this back. But so far, Renegades are on a rampage.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they have 4 or 5 rounds to play with on the CT side, they can kind of do the same to Renegades, what they're feeling at the stage. So, and don't forget, Renegades, a lot of these rounds are thanks to the fact that Dexter's just gone absolutely huge and some of them has just popped off. So he's starting to cool off a little bit, not really finding the impact that we've seen previously. Oh, okay, as soon as I say that, of course, Dexter just rolls up mid and just kills 2 people. Okay. Just like that, rounds 1 for Renegades because Dexter decides to go kill.
Big picks coming through there. And Dexter's not done yet. He wants the final 2 as well, but Blitz finally having some impact with the AWP. Unfortunately, impact's too late. 1v3, nowhere near the bomb, looking just to fight for his life and fight to carry the AWP across, and oh.
This is good. This is good for Avant. The fact that Blitz is able to take 2 rifles off there, sure they lose the round, but they're trying to keep the AWP alive, which they will be able to do so. They're stopping Renegades from building up money as well. That's how a lot of these rounds have been very, very tight. But once again, it's just Dexter just coming out to mid. Yeah, there's a good flashbang. Yes, some good assistance from Renegades on the utility and people being there being a distraction, but you just can't shy away from the fact that at the end of the day, Dexter just comes out, just kills people and just goes, cool, round 1. Good job, me.
Great job.
Great IGLing, Dexter. Okay, I'm going to go kill.
18 kills in 12 rounds. The man is on fire right now. And what a time to come alive. 3rd map of the series, looking to secure your way to the grand final here for the Oceanic region of DreamHack Masters Spring.
He has more kills than the rest of his team combined.
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
He does.
16. Oh, wait, he's got 18. Don't worry.
Yeah, Ins this time just goes, all right, I saw Dexter doing this. It's pretty cool. Apparently, if you just charge and you get entries, it makes your job easier to win rounds like this. So once again, Renegades just getting aggressive and it's working an absolute charm for them at the moment. Blitz mistimes that incendiary grenade though.
And this is going to be so much information to play off now. The dry peak back into Banana. Smoke as well, looking to try to bait anyone forward. Now Renegades, they've given it up completely. Blitz gets on the line, but it doesn't matter because Sicko is on fire.
The question is, are they going to be checking the sandbags position? Often has managed to lurk into probably the perfect late game scenario right now for Avant. That said though, Renegades happy to sit here, wait for some over-aggression.
Oh, but
and no, they're not going to check it. Oh, no, but off no. He lets go. And Dexter, of course, as Dexter's able to punish it. That said, though, both CT players in the right position to stop the site take. It's all down to Sterling to land these shots. 25 seconds left. Just has to dance around, try to survive. Ins surely should be able to hear this. He will be able to hear it. So just go straight for the bomb plant.
And there's yet another round for the Renegades because Sterling wants to carry that up across. You could see there was a moment there where Off knew if he just had the trigger discipline, he might have been able to double down and this round's outcome could have changed. But with so much pressure on the line, just tiny mistakes like that happen.
It's really unfortunate. The classic case of doing 88 in 4 with the M4A4. Sterling should be able to take the AWP into the next round. Dexter, yes, he's going on the hunt, but I don't think he can really get there in time. So Renegades hit double digits, and so far it's really just been to rounds where they just get the entry and that's it. The round's over, done and dusted, and there's not much you can really say beyond that.
Here it is. The entry coming out from Ints. And look, Hazard was so deep towards CT, he had no idea that that was coming for him. Nuts. Dexter on fire right now. Mechanical genius. And there's the 8-round lead. Renegades looking to make this a 13-2 affair at this point. We have another timeout coming through as well. And look, no one over on the side of AVANT cracking the double digits in terms of kills just yet.
And the problem is with these tactical pauses, it's just been save after save from AVANT. They don't have the best buy. They don't have economy saved up because it's just been rough for them overall. I mean, some of these rounds have been tight. You can see from Renegades' money, yes, they're ahead by 8 rounds, but their money isn't blowing out. That's the thing. It's just coming down to some of these individual plays. It's coming down to the decisions that Renegades are making. They're coming out on top right now. And Sitgo, Sterling gives up the angle just... maybe the wrong or the right time, depending which way you look at it.
The timing, it hurts to watch sometimes. Nate to bracket doesn't connect now. Splits does have this AWP to play with again. He's already copped some early damage, down to 44. But on this line, could find a pick to fall back safely from.
Oh, the HE grenade.
Ooh.
Oh, it's gone a little bit too high. Inns has shanked it. But still a lot of CT utility right now for them to use. Blitz is going to shoot just a little bit too early. No one's dropping a smoke grenade just yet, and Hazard just drops the molly way too late.
And already, just off the back of that, you can see that this is probably looking like yet another Renegades round. They've encapsulated the site with minimal damage taken, although Dexter might have just overextended there. Doesn't catch the timing, but AVANT, you can see that APOC has not bothered to start this rotation. He's expecting a lurker over towards the A site. And there it is, the save is called. Only 2 casualties in the round, but Renegades securing an 11th on the board. Inferno is looking out of hand now for AVANT.
Look, AVANT, all they need is that 4th round, that critical 4th CT round. I know that sounds like a meme right now, Kevin saying critical, but it gives them a chance to fight back into this. Because not all of Renegades will be looking to crash hot on the aim either. And Hazard, it's unfortunate. He's been timed so many times. He's trying to drop utility here, and he's just caught out in the open. He needs to drop utility early and just get ready with his gun out, ready to fight. He's not doing that at the moment. He's getting punished for it.
Well, that's when Hazard plays his best Counter-Strikers. When he's on the entry, he's got that supportive utility, allowing him to create some space. But here on the CT side, they're not pushing at all. They're going for that passive approach. They did try to fight for some map control earlier on, but it just wasn't working out. But now being passive and just sitting in your sights, it hasn't worked out either.
And you can see that AVANT are going to be trying to take this Nano control. But look at Renegades. They just avoid it, and they're just going to be taking mid instead. They're going to try to punish Sterling this time around. That said, though, AVANT have managed to rally their forces back towards CT spawn and back towards the A bomb site. But Sterling, big work for him to do at the moment. And he's able to pick hats once again.
Oh.
But Dexter, he's on the entry. 20 kills for him now.
That flash so crucial, and it's the rifles getting the work done, but a re-aggression from APOC gives the round a glimpse of hope for AVANT. Back to the 2v2 we've gone. Malta wants to go through now. Sitgo still with control of Diggity, but APOC in a solid position.
No utility for the T side to play with either, so Blitz, it's just all down to timing at the moment. Who's going to look in the right area? Who's going to check the right corridors? APOC in a very strong position. Molotov is going to be heard, but you can see just in potentially one of the dirtiest positions, but he's got the silenced M4. The dink comes out, but not the body shots, and Blitz going for it this time around. He's close by, but he misses the first shot.
Oh, and missed opportunity for Sicko. The two-man peak comes through, but it's Sicko doing everything himself. 3K for the man into the 14th round. And before we head into half-time, there's still one final round. Avant, they've got enough to buy up here. Renegades, they've got everything going for them. They don't even need to buy, and I still feel like they'll have too much of an advantage heading towards the second half.
The rest of Renegades have won all their entry deals except for hats. That is truly unfortunate when you think about it. That's the life of the entry fragment when things aren't working out. I'm saying that right now, but out comes the entries maybe to the A bomb site, and hats this time around able at least to get one. But Avant able to hold on finally.
Good to see that Hazza had an opportunity to fight finally. 4v3 now, Avant. Man advantage, extra HP on all their players as well. It's just down to 21 bullet and the man will fall. Renegades utilising the utility just to take control of bracket here. Sicko with the AWP and control of the bomb. He's just looking to find an opening. Nice timing on the smoke. Apok wants that line, knows that Malta loves to lurk. At the end of Carps there, Sicko. He's going to go for the double down. Looks like Ince may just try to sell a fake towards the B site.
He's got the right utility as well. Single smoke into CT spawn and a Molotov will actually force that rotation back out. He doesn't have any utility to drop. Sterling, though, still has an incendiary grenade and flashbang time to work with on this A bomb site. It's actually the coffin smokes coming out. He's actually using all his utility. He's trying to sell that there's two people over here. That's smart from Inns.
Nice
Hasn't
try.
shifted anyone from Avant.
But a solid crossfire still established and no rotation back from Hazza yet. The call's been made. Ince goes down and Sterling spots it, but it's Apok dishing the damage. Sicko now on a 1v4. He needs to go one better than the previous, but Avant finally gifted around 3-12. They've got a long way to make this comeback a reality, but they have a whole half to do it. Let's see if Renegades can close it quickly and send us into the second series of the day, or if Avant are going to keep us around for a time. We'll see you shortly. There's a break before the second half.
She's crazy, beautiful. Whoa, oh, oh. She's crazy, beautiful, and it's driving me wild. She's crazy, beautiful. Whoa, oh, oh. I can't get that picture out of my head. 'Cause she's crazy, beautiful. Champagne, it's making me insane. It shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, but I'd do anything. I'd even buy a ring if I got the chance. Her favorite song came on, and here she comes. Everybody turns their head. The band just don't stop dead. She's crazy, beautiful. Whoa, oh, oh. She's crazy, beautiful. It's driving me wild. She's crazy, beautiful. Whoa, oh, oh. I can't get that picture out of my head. 'Cause she's crazy, beautiful. Crazy, beautiful. Yeah. Oh. Everybody turns their head. The band just don't stop dead. She lights it up like gasoline. Crazy beautiful, you know what I mean. She lights it up like gasoline. And she's the hottest damn thing. She's crazy, beautiful. Whoa, oh, oh. She's crazy, beautiful, and it's driving me wild. She's crazy,
Well, back into the action, the final half of the series, and AVANT have a long way to go. It's all going to start here on the pistol if they need to find any momentum to make this comeback happen. If not, Renegade should have an easy-peasy situation on their hands. 12 rounds on the T side. That is massive.
Yeah, that's a pretty big lead coming in from your own T half, where it was just looking absolutely untouchable. The only thing that I have to say is that Renegades, only a couple of players really firing up for them at the moment, mainly Dexter, obviously, leading from in front. So if AVANT, if they're able to get the pistol round, a couple of the entries work in their favor, able to really just bully this B bomb site, maybe they can try to turn things around. But if they lose the pistol round, it is looking pretty downhill from here. So always a scary prospect coming into the pistol where you know it's pretty much do or die at the moment. I like to say that, we do use that analogy a lot, but really you're looking at a 13-3 if you lose the pistol, staring down the barrel of a very big defeat.
Very dangerous weapon. Well, let's see what damage AVANT can do to this round deficit. They need to get it here on the T side. It's a 2-3 split with aggression straight down mid from Renegades. Already Hats, he's on the flank of Banana. This one's been heard by Sterling and communicated. But AVANT, they're just going to be going forward now. Has a holding strong. And boom, 2 already. I want some more, but Inst there. Now does posturing for a retake.
The problem is, though, you look at Sterling, he's completely isolated, and they've just completely forgotten about Hats at this stage. Sterling's just on a journey on the other side of the map, and the bomb's been lost, so even as he's just going elsewhere.
That was a very, very ballsy maneuver from Hats. I think he went silent over into Banana to get that flank to work out perfectly, and the timing was on his side.
That said, though, Sterling's able to bring these back into a couple of one-on-one duels. Could work out. There's the first one, but Hats is able to take it. Has Dexter assisting. Sterling didn't have any body armor, and this is a very bad situation for AVANT. They're forced to either eco here. They are going to go for the force buy, but that means that if they drop this one, their economy, once again, is going to be in the bin.
No recycling. 10 rounds in the lead. Renegades looking to make this match look quick indeed. Even though the other two maps just took a whole bunch of time, fully through regulation and overtime in the first.
I mean, that's why sometimes you look at Renegades, and that's why they're so strong in Inferno. And once again, it's going to be the nades coming out close. Sterling, though, it's going to take some damage. Make that a lot of damage.
Down to 17. And unable to trade any form of damage out himself. Zofnu wanted to go forward through the smoke at bracket, but the Molotov coming out at the perfect moment.
Well, how is Sterling still alive? He's barely breathing. Dr. Mac, what's the diagnosis?
Looks like it's going to be death. I dare say he won't find another thing this round, but it's Blitz doing the opening, so he's actually found the first for the round. Now he'd go into a perfect position. Blitz, he's got the armor though, so he'll be able to slide away, but he's actually going to go for the repeat now. Him and APOC try to go together. There's the trade, and still a man advantage for AVANT, just barely.
No, but this is perfect because they're in the situation where they can crack open the A bomb site. This has gone terribly wrong for Renegades. They're trying to go aggressive. They're not really playing the crossfire positions, and it actually forces them to save. So a lifeline taken by AVANT with both hands. They're going to be very happy with that as well.
Famis and MP9 both retrieved here and able to be carried forward. I dare say we are going to be seeing a force buy from Renegades as well. They've got a whole lot of rounds before AVANT come knocking at the door. So they will be looking for an upset of their own. They don't want to let AVANT work up a solid economy. If they do manage to get a whole bunch of money in the coffers for themselves, then AVANT surely can try to make a comeback a possibility. But at this point, it's still out of the realms of reality.
It starts from this round, taking a victory against now the force buy themselves of Renegades, who have really shot themselves in the foot. Sicko, though, on that T-stairs angle. As Malta pushing down rapidly. Where's a flashbang, though? A flashbang would absolutely ruin Sterling's day right now. But there's no flashbang, it's just a dry peek, and that's just not good enough. Ins, though, HE Grenade should be able to clean this up.
Oh, Sterling cops the hard end of the stick there. The trade comes through. Hazard gives up Banana completely there as he slides his way back through. But now with all this utility, AVANT may just be aware that Renegades have 2 players over towards that B site. And those 2 players are at the bottom of Banana now. They're ready to wrap over to A at this point. And AVANT about to make their move.
And the problem is, though, they're ready to wrap into the A bomb site. And Hazard's checked the right angle at the perfect time. This is all down to Sicko to hold with his scout, and he's done some damage, but the problem is that AVANT were relatively untagged up. So it's going to be the case of, once again, Renegades looking to save the AK in the hands of Dexter, and maybe In's looking for a bit of lurk kills over here. You can see him coming late into apartments.
You could see that the instant that Sicko fell there on the A site, Dexter, he was hightailing his way down T stairs, but AVANT, they recognise that Renegades may be saving these weapons, so the hunt is on. But off to an APOC, they've gone the wrong direction this time. As Ince feeling invincible.
Oh, he's looking to see if he can pick off anyone at pit.
No, he's got a kit. He's got a kit.
Wait, hang on a moment.
He's
gone too late. He's gone way too late. Nice little try. Hazard's there to cover off as well.
Ooh.
But Hazard goes down to the bomb. That's actually an AK lost. So a little bit of damage being done by Renegades.
AVANT having a fright of their lives there. Renegades trying to cross over to 14 on the Ninja, but Ince just unable to clutch it out there. Big entries though. AVANT finally getting some rounds on the board, and the T side looking more solid than their CT side so far.
Yeah, able to really dictate the pace here, and you can see Hazard's already fanged it up Nana. Fast and Furious confirmed. I don't know about Furious, just fast, maybe.
Well, he's got that Ranger age, so Furious could be accurate. Molly going down to the perfect moment. And Ince there.
Dexter's got an 8K47, and he's pushing through a smoke. Doesn't matter, though. They do have control of the B bomb site. I only have to get rid of a USB player in Malta, who's just being a bit of a nuisance at the moment, to be honest. Not really a threat. It's Dexter that's the problem right now, who's coming in from Banana.
And it's all up to Hats to just draw out as much attention as possible. Hazard will go forward and works the perfect timing. Sicko dealt with as well. And Dexter, if he wants to get anything working for himself, he needs to find it through the smoke here. There's the first, and Blitz almost goes down as well. Both these players on the B site so low, it's only APOC with the HP. And he's looking for this flank, but he has to come from all the way from the A site.
It's all down to who can get the better engagement. Dexter doesn't have head armor, so if APOC gets the headshot, of course he's not going to be able to get the headshot. It's Dexter, who's just too strong right now. Yes, he's not going to win the round, but he's able to do so much damage at this stage where, once again, AVANT can't really build an economy on a lot of their guys.
And it's Dexter's kill count continually building as well. 24 now.
But that's the problem for Renegades, right? It's because you have one guy that's fragging, but you can't rely on him fragging everywhere. Eventually, he's not going to be able to guess the right bomb site, and AVANT's just able to roll onto the correct one and win from there. So, still a chance for AVANT to come back into this. Need to build up that money account. Starts here now, though. First gun round coming out from Renegades. Not going to be the strongest. Lack of utility in some of their members. But the AWP's out in play for Sicko.
And AVANT looking for some banana control again. Hazard using this molly for car nade to combine, but there's no damage found so far. Sicko hoping for a faster aggression over from second mid there, but it never came through. And there it is, Hazard at the ready. Expecting some aggression. Renegades looking for some answers now, but Hazard pulls the smoke out. Unfortunately,
no,
doesn't let it rip, and he goes down. Ince with the cover. Sterling unable to keep him alive. Ofnu able to trade at least. So we are back to the 3v3 as AVANT set their sights on the A site.
But Sicko's there with the AWP, gets the first opening pick, and now AVANT really have to accelerate the pace here. But you can see Hats drops the smoke at the perfect time, trying to play around it. Sicko on Nifty Box right now, or just near Nifty Box. He's on the site, and you know Sicko is able to hold very successfully from here as Renegades do manage to pick up that gun round with 3 alive. AVANT don't have cash on Ofnu or Hazard. This is problematic.
And they're going to be forced to buy here. Unless they want to hunt for another overtime. But they need everything that they can get, surely.
You have to force here, pretty much. There is no way you can play from overtime 6-15 down. You need to try to take the victory here and try to trade out the rounds accordingly. Gonna give up Nana control, just play a little bit slower. They found Renegades wanting earlier on. And they actually did have the force buy when they were able to take this A-bomb site. And maybe it's going to be a case of once again, just preying on any opportunities they can get. That's the first one.
APOC, an opportunity, but
Oh,
it is
no.
going to be the defense that wins it. 2 for Dexter again, causing huge devastation for Avant. Sterling's last alive. He's slipped his way shoulder to shoulder with Ince back through to the Archers. We'll go toe-to-toe with Malta, but that Molotov will force him to fight. Unfortunately, miscommunication extinguishes it, but there's still some hope, some spirit left in Sterling here.
Now, once again, I mean, Avant find the perfect timing. They just can't seem to pick off Dexter, who's just this absolute nuisance so far, who's able to turn on them. And now Sterling, a difficult decision for him to make. Do you try to go for this, or do you try to save the AWP and try to make the play in the next one, try to bring it into overtime? It's always a difficult case. You can see Inns all the way at T-stairs.
Oh, he's off the line for the moment. Here's an opportunity. Sterling, not spotted initially, but Dexter so low, continuing to break the hopes and dreams of Avant here.
28 kills. He's about to hit 30 for the regulation if he gets just 2 in potentially what could be the final round. You can see he just gets out alive, just able to duel alongside with Hats to absolute perfection. The Renegades hold that attack off with ease this time, a 4-on-5. Only pistols as well as a Galil. Near hopeless, but Avant have to try to find something.
Double and 8 stack at Banana, not going to find any fruit this time for Renegades. Avant staying passive there for the moment. There's no utility to control that area of the map. They will have to wait for Renegades to relinquish it, which they have. Passive on the B site, passive on the A site. Letting Avant have all the map control in the world.
Yeah, I mean, Renegades are coming into this round, understand that Avant don't have the best buy. They have limited pieces of utility, so you can just be perfectly content. Probably sitting here, watching a few corners, making sure you have smoke grenades ready to play, and just draw out time and set up these crossfires. You can see that on the A-bomb site right now. The threat's going to be more apartments as opposed to Diggity. A lot of utility for Hats still to work with over at the A-bomb site. B-bomb site is looking a little bit weaker, though. And you can bet your horses that Avant are waiting for an opportunity to strike, and here we go.
Insert Fallen. Deals the first blow. There is a trade, however, but is it enough? Malta can't get this spray to work through, and Ofnu brings it to a 3v3 with that Tech 9. Bomb plant going to go down now, and Avant able to go into the post plants.
No utility for the T side to play with, though. A couple of flashbangs. These have to be absolutely amazing for Renegades to try to break this crossfire, as Sterling is going to be posting in a far corner with an AK. Can be absolutely lethal. Sicko, he's priming the flashbang. Here it comes. Out comes the flashbang. The fight's going to occur. It's going to be the Tech 9 and 8K at range. Sicko trying to push forward, trying to force the agenda at this moment, but he's not going to land that shot onto Ofnu. Big round for Ofnu and Sterling to at least keep Avant alive in this. But how many rounds can they do it as Renegades? Money's not great, so they can't really buy into this, but they can force if they want to.
One more round, one more opportunity. Avant, they need to get it done here. They need to do it right now. Renegades, surely it doesn't end on the back of some USPs. Smoke and a flash to play with. And a 4-man stack to create a crossfire here at Bracket. Just Ince on the B site to defend.
Yeah, just dropping that smoke grenade, just try to decoy out something. Oh, Dexter's just pushed mid and found the perfect timing. Even though Blitz is coming to trade him out, they're just going to try to overwhelm him with numbers. Not going to work out as Inns. Oh my goodness! Inns at close range with a USP.
No
Double
way.
dinks him. Has done a lot of damage to Sterling as well. Oh my goodness, this is going terribly wrong for Avant right now.
3v2, and this could be the final round. Blitz is still kicking, still swinging. with 55 HP. The man wants some more as a boost is about to come out. Sicko gets here at the perfect moment.
Oh no, surely this is not the round that AVANT drop at this stage.
Oh!
Sicko's trying to chip in, he gets the kill. It's all down to Sterling on 6 HP. It's Inns that's closing up. It's the USPs, Mac.
That is ridiculousness, but Renegades get over the line with the most crazy round we've seen all night. Anyway, we do have to break this down in the post-match. Congratulations to Renegades. 2-1, the victors. We'll see you after this break.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back working from home and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Drives into nowhere. Tell me how it feels when I hold you tight like we compare. I'll come whenever you call. I'll run right into your arms. Oh, hold on whenever you fall. 'Cause you changed me. Ooh, you changed me. I'll come whenever you call. I'll run right into your arms. Oh, hold on whenever you fall.
racks, yeah, my brothers all trap. Yeah, my brothers all trap. From legit to their packs, know my brothers make racks. Know my brothers make racks. Reinvest and make back, kinda up and then stack. Kinda up and then stack. They ain't really on that, man, them brothers love chat. Man, them brothers just chat. Evidence disappear like a snap like that. Fabricating like you're shutting it down. If you call that, know your head just spun round. Them man like devil money talking that sound. Mute sign language wouldn't help them work out. Man, I bossed myself a proof for how long. Been in the beans coming 9 years done. Been doing what the nickel man are now on. Another 9 other levels, I'm gone. In a spaceship, Lord knows I've been patient. Putting work like a grave shift. 05 running with my brothers on the pavement. Whipping the re-up, stuck in the agents. Back to the yard with that something so fragrant. Smell it on road that we had it in the
There it is, upper bracket final for Oceania, finally done and dusted. Renegades doing it on the eco of all things, so many kills with USPs, and I'm sure AVANT will be devastated, but Renegades just coming back from a nice surprise. So not getting upset and pulling the reverse sweep as well after a bit of a rocky start there on Dust 2 with that map being lost.
Yeah, it was a close one. It's classic that it comes down to the pistol round win, but end of the day, I mean, you're putting some of the Avant players to bed. It was kind of a little bit earlier. It was kind of just a matter of time at that point. It would have been very, very surprising to see them drag that back into overtime or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. They just didn't have the rounds to play with. If they maybe took a few of the gun rounds convincingly and Renegades weren't looking too hot, then I would have been like, okay, there's a chance here. But, I mean, even the rounds where they're able to take the bomb site, they lose so many people, they were still losing these aim deals against Dexter, and that was always going to be the issue coming into Inferno, the final map. They had to defeat Dexter, and that's the final raid boss. We always talk about the raid boss. Not only is this the raid boss, but he's also just hit the gym. He's just come out, he's swole, he's jacked, he's ready to just beat you up with the AK-47. Nothing that he can really do.
Speaking of Dexter, 29-11, almost a perfect HLTV rating, 1.98 on Inferno. That is ridiculousness. That is crazy. Like, that is a performance I have not seen in a very long time.
That's poggers. That is not cringe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just impact kills time after time. That's the whole thing at the end of the day, right? I mean, this is such a good series. Avant, honestly, we're very, very close to taking the entire game. You could see moments on Nuke where things went a little bit differently. They might have been able to take the 2-0, but when it just got to the end, it just felt like Renegades, they were just maybe a little bit too sick of playing Counter-Strike, so Dexter just went, all right, let's just finish this game in the way that we know. Let's just get entry kills. Let's actually just pick up the pace, and it worked an absolute charm.
Great utility and great aggression there on the CT side to close it. A couple of rounds going both ways, but, you know, Avant, they just dropped it when it wasn't quite there. They really, really wanted it. You could see that they managed to take it all the way to 30 on that second map, a triple overtime on the first. It was crazy. But look, we're having a conversation about Dexter. Let's have a conversation with Dexter. We've got him on the line for an interview again today. Dexter, how are you doing after that win there?
Pretty good, pretty chill. Yeah, good win.
Good to see. You've got your hat on again. I've noticed you did it last time for the other interviews in Road to Rio. Have you not got a haircut yet?
No, I've got a haircut. I just didn't feel like styling my hair, taking the extra 20 minutes, so it would have been a bit too much.
Oh, of course, of course. Well, 29 kills there on the third and final map. Are you at all sad that you didn't get to the 30?
No, I'm just glad we won, honestly.
Yeah, look, you did a pretty good job. 1.98 rating. And look, Inferno, you guys have been looking very, very solid on it. Were you happy with how the veto played in your hand today?
Yeah, definitely. Even after losing the first map, I think we were very comfortable with just the last two, no matter what. I think we nearly threw it on Nuke, definitely, but in the end, it's just was one of our most comfortable maps. So yeah, all good.
All right, I got one serious question, one not so serious question. Did you guys finish off Inferno super quickly there just to make sure Malta was in bed by 10 p.m.?
Something like that. Yeah, he would have dropped off quite a bit if he hit any more late because, I don't know, he's a grandpa.
Yeah. My serious question, though, is I've noticed you guys time and time again starting off on the CT side of Dust 2, and it's gotten you into trouble yesterday and today. What's the reasoning behind that?
I think we did well in our ideas and stuff like that, but I think we lost some pretty poor rounds, honestly. There was a round we lost a 4v2, and that kind of just messed with our momentum that we would have had because that would have reset their money. So I think after that point, yeah, it just sucked from us. But I think we'll have to look into it again and then just iron out whatever we're doing wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Nuke coming into that, was there a little bit of preparation or counter-strategy that was coming in? Because it looked like some of the rounds you were able to read what Avant were doing. Was it just more on intuition, or was it more on you've seen this before in the past?
It's mostly just mostly intuition. It's just like we can get a feel from stuff. We were playing pretty aggressive, so no matter what, we had information on them in general. So yeah, we found that out and we're just like, all right, they're going this other area, and then that was it.
But yeah, solid performance from you guys today, Chris, and congratulations again. We'll see you in the grand final.
Cheers. See you guys.
See you later. Well, that'll do it. So they were pretty happy with the win, of course, as you would be. So that's at least $5,000 secured now that they are in the grand final.
And I mean, I was going to say another thing as well. It's going to be a best-of-5 grand finals. They've got a bit of a break right now. They can see exactly what they're going to come up against. And with a one-map lead as well, it means they only have to take 2. So it's going to make their journey even easier to cement themselves as Oceania's greatest once again.
Yeah, and speaking of a best-of-5 grand final, you know now, we were talking about it before, they have all 7 maps in their pool. So they're just happy. They can just remove the one that they think is their weakest at the time, that or what they think is their opponent's strongest. And the veto should somehow play in their favor.
Yeah, you'd imagine that. I mean, if they're feeling really, really comfortable, really, really confident in their map pool, then a best of 5 is just going to favor them even more heavily because no matter what map they're playing against the opponent, it's going to be a larger sample size, and I don't think anybody else can really match that map pool in terms of the consistency that they can bring.
Yeah, I mean, let's be realistic. They've only really looked vulnerable on Dust 2 so far. I mean, I'd like to see them bring out maybe the Train. They do look a lot better on these execute structured maps where you do need to go in the extremities a lot. That's why I feel like Dust 2 and Mirage probably going to be weakness for them, whereas you look at your other ones like Inferno, like Nuke, they do perform a lot better. So...
Yeah, well, we do have the bracket ready to have a quick look at. We were talking about how it currently is standing. You know, we do see Avant. They've been knocked down into the lower bracket final now. Renegades, rather, all the way into the grand final. And then tomorrow we'll have Order taking on Chiefs to see who's going to be meeting up with Avant. Is it going to be Order to try and get, you know, a bit of revenge, have that second opportunity? Or is Chiefs going to show us that their new roster is looking good here?
I mean, it's going to be quite a good game. I think it's really just going to all come down and depend very, very heavily on Order's form. That's really what it's going to come down to. It's just the individuals need to be consistent enough. If they bring, I'd say, even like 70-80% of their level, they should be able to beat Chiefs every day of the week. But if Chiefs can bring that explosive style that they brought up against Renegades that we saw in that opening round match, and they get some good maps to do it on, I would be scared if I was Order.
Yeah, I mean, the scariest part, right, is Order's got a lot to play for. You've got pride, everything on the line. You heard what APOC Dud said yesterday in regards to this tournament. It's a bit of a, I won't say it's a write-off for them, but they're not taking it, I guess, like, at the same level as some of these other teams where they can't really lose against Chiefs. They're coming to this with, well, you know what, we're the underdogs anyway. No one's expecting stuff from us, so we can play however we want. And as long as we play to our level, then we're going to be happy.
Yeah, especially off the back of a roster swap as well.
Yeah.
People cannot expect too much. You know, there's always going to be that honeymoon period. There's always a chance for some kind of genius to happen in a team. But it is APOC Dud's brainchild, essentially, this new lineup. And hopefully with Vexlight and a couple of youngins in the team like him and Zeph, there is a chance that this team can grow over time.
Oh, of course, yeah. This is the perfect opportunity to do it. You get thrown straight into a tournament with your new roster, learn some hard lessons early on without too much pressure on you, and then continue forward, continue on the grind to just become a better team.
Yeah, and we saw the glimpse of potential as well, which makes us even better, right? They took that 2-1. I mean, they didn't win against Renegades. They took a 1-2 at the end of the day, but you can see just once again glimpses of what can be possible from this Chiefs lineup, which is great to see.
All right, cool. Well, that's enough discussion of the Oceanic region. It is time for a short break. We have the Asian upper bracket final on the other side. It's going to be Tyloo taking on the Titans Vici. What a match to end the night. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with that match shortly.